Well, Bob Newhart has played the character Bob Newhart for much of his TV career.
But on The Big Bang Theory, the legendary actor, he's 89. Can you believe it?
Incredible.
Plays Professor Proton.
And tonight he makes his 6th appearance on the show in that role, offering Sheldon a little marital advice after his first fight with Amy.
Here's a sneak peek.
Bob Newhart is back. Was so happy to see him when he got here.
Bob's back to offer advice, because when you have marital problems, you go to Bob Newhart in a robe, Jedi robes.
In a diner.
I didn't know that Dagobah had delicatessens.
Not good ones. I'm kind of Obi-Wan. Whenever Jim has a problem, then he comes to me. He and Amy had a fight, and he came to me and wanted my advice to how to handle their first fight. First rule in marriage, never go to bed angry.
That makes sense.
Rule number 2 in a marriage, if you don't recognize the shoes under your bed, they're not your shoes.
Bob is just as amazing as ever. I was just marveling at the table read. His timing is just unbelievable to watch.
That's really funny. All right, here's a little trivia for you. Mr. Newhart didn't get his first Emmy until 2013, and that was for an appearance on The Big Bang Theory. I never, ever would have guessed that. Yes, that's wild.
Incredible. Well, you can watch The Legend in action tonight when The Big Bang Theory airs at 8 o'clock right here on Channel 3.
All right, now to the tale of two friends who decided to embark on a journey to document the 410-mile-long Connecticut River.
Their story is told in the current issues of Seasons magazines and in their new book, The Connecticut River from the Air, an intimate perspective of New England's historic waterway.
Joining us today, our pilot, Tom Walsh, and Gerry Roberts, an author, historian, and former director of the Connecticut River Museum. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good to be here.
I think the first thing that people don't realize, I think a lot of people, is that the Connecticut River extends beyond the Connecticut borders.
That's right. It goes through 4 states, 410 miles long, starts on basically within a couple hundred yards of the Canadian border.
Which is really remarkable.
It is.
And it's called the Connecticut River up there as well.
That's right. Well, the state is named after the river, not vice versa.
Oh, see, now that's something I didn't know.
More trivia. I didn't know that. So, Tom, for you're a pilot, and you had an interesting perspective. You just started seeing the beauty from the air?
Yes, I fly for a large airline, and I see the world from very high up. But when I started flying small airplanes, when I started my company, Shoreline Aerial Photography, I started flying down low and slow, and that's when you can really start to see the beauty of the region.
Low and slow, I like that. That's really that's remarkable. We've got a bunch of photos, you know, obviously from the book, and we're going to take a look
at the magazines,
and from the magazines too. So the first is from. Can you describe to us what we're seeing here?
So this is the article.
That's one of the spreads in the book. There are hundreds of photos in the book. That particular photo that you just saw was Selden Creek.
Okay.
And part of Selden Island, which is the largest island in the Connecticut River.
Isn't this remarkable? I mean, you get to see the whole geographic spread of land. This is
what people don't realize, they see the river down in our area here, flowing past Hartford or Essex. It's pretty wide, and it's a pretty major river. But up north, it's this winding, you know, it goes through wilderness. That's the mouth of the river at Saybrook there that you just saw.
Okay. And even like just the foliage. I mean, the foliage is incredible from that view.
It is, yes. Yes.
The change in the Connecticut River over the past 22 decades has been pretty remarkable.
Sure.
Is that something that you could see from the air, just the cleanliness of the river? Or?
Sure. Well, you can see several things. First of all, at the mouth of the river, you can see this where the fresh water spews out into the Sound, which is salt water. And this river brings a lot of sediment, and that's not pollution. That's a natural thing.
Okay.
What you can really notice is urbanization. You can see what used to be beautiful farmlands, and now you can see a subdivision. On many pages of the book, you can see that just crystal clear delineation between Old World Connecticut, the old tobacco barns, and now you can see a major housing development. So you can see changes from the air.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
What a lot of people don't realize is how often the river changes courses, especially up in the middle sections of the river. The oxbow sections of the river, they're just spectacular. You can literally see back into history where you can see the different courses of the river. There's some of the photos we have, I think we counted 6, maybe 7 different courses of the river as it changed over the centuries, and you can see that all in one shot.
How did you guys get together and decide to make this into a book?
So it was a long process, but Gerry?
I had just taken over the Connecticut River Museum, And I'd looked through some file photos that we had, and I saw some amazing pictures from the air, and I said, who took those pictures? It was Tom. And I asked Tom, can we use some of these to make a little exhibit about the river from the air? He says, yes, but I'd rather you let me fly all the way to the Canadian border and back and take all new pictures, which he did, and that we just did a great exhibit. And we always said, someday we're going to do a book on this, because he's taken several flights, and we finally got around to doing it.
And we're going to take a look at some more photos we have.
That's Lord's Cove, looking across at the village of Essex. If you stand on the docks at the Connecticut River Museum and you look across, you just see the island. You don't see what's on the other side. You have to be in a small airplane down low, and then you can see that kind of view.
And that's the great thing about the book, is you see things that no one could see from a boat or from the land. That's the Essex steam train heading north past a Deep River area. But Brockway Island, that's looking on the left is Hamburg Cove, the entrance to Hamburg Cove. Essex is just up to the right, and then beyond that is Long Island Sound. Oh, yeah. So it shows you how close Essex is to the Sound. Again, that's back to Selden Creek behind Selden's Island.
Okay, and then we get to go, this is the Swing Bridge?
That's the Swing Bridge in East Haddam, and the Goodspeed Opera House, the white building on the left side.
This is, Tom, is this something that you offer people? Like, if people are interested in seeing the Connecticut River, is this something that you do, or are there people out there that can get us down low? And
I used to do that, but it became too time consuming.
Too time consuming.
So I have clients all over New England and the U.S. now that I photograph for, so there simply wasn't enough time to do the rides.
Well, that's great, though. At least we can experience it through the book.
Right.
And we have the source of the river.
Yeah.
This is where it all starts?
This is where it starts. The small pond in the foreground, that's the source of the Connecticut River.
And it's virtually a couple hundred yards away from the Canadian border.
It's remarkable.
It flows down into that next lake that you see, the third Connecticut Lake, and then on down, and eventually.
And it's called the Connecticut Lake, even way up there?
Up there, there's the 4 Connecticut lakes, the
That's
first,
amazing.
second, third, and fourth Connecticut lakes, and that's where it all starts.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
All right.
You can learn more about the new book in the newest editions of Seasons magazines, and Seasons magazine is going to have a big announcement in the upcoming weeks, so you can follow Seasons on social media, and of course you'll see it in your mailbox.
It's a beautiful book, especially for the holidays. Get it now. All right, coming up tomorrow on Better, crafts for the kids with less mess, the result of a new survey on holiday shopping. Have you started yet?
I might need to.
No, don't even tell me you started yet. And why does your dog lick so much?
Plus, a fun home tour with Nora Murphy. That, better weekends, and better laughs. It's all tomorrow on the Real Friday. Today's Friday Junior.
Hey, today's Friday Junior.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Real Friday. Big viewer out there. I want to say hello to Ellen Gustafson. She is a trooper, and she's a good friend of mine now. I just met her. I had an opportunity to meet her yesterday. I know she's a big viewer of the show, and I just want to say, Ellen, we're thinking about you, and we love you.
All right. Dr. Oz is coming up next, and Eyewitness News at 5 is after that. See you later.